Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you play a song called 0 to 100, The Catch-Up by Drake. And it starts off with this really cool little intro lick actually through the main verse chorus. And you can play open B, open G, open E, and then first fret on the B string, and then open B, and another open B. So if you wanted to kind of follow that melody, you'd have kind of that O, 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 1, O, 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 1, O, 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 1, O, O, or B, G, E, C, B, B. And if you wanted to back up that with a bass note, you could kind of add in the low E string actually to kind of back that up. And you could even try and do this hybrid picking. I'm kind of using my pick for the bass and using my fingers for the other notes of the lick to kind of get those two ideas together, which can be kind of a really cool way to intro the tune. Taking on that. Or you could back that up with a chord and you start on an E minor chord. Normally you do this first finger on the A 2nd fret, second finger on the D 2nd fret, and if you strum all those together, that sounds an E minor chord. It sounds really sad. Now, you may also dig on adding in the third finger on the B 3rd, pinky on the high E 3rd, kind of working that as an E minor 7 through the song. And there's a couple different strumming options you could use. Actually, you could even try just a down idea, kind of that E minor, da, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm doing kind of an 8 down count and adding a little bit of muting. So I'm taking the flat of my right hand, kind of laying it down on top of the saddle, making that a little bit sneaky. Randomly, you may also dig on doing the E minor with just a second finger on the A, third finger on the D, so that you can get that first finger note to happen around the downs. Kind of try and kind of follow that lick, but with the down idea. Or another strum pattern, one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this, is down, down, up, down, up. So if you take the E minor and just tried that a lot, you'd have down, down, up. Or you could even add basses to that and make it kind of a low E bass and then a down, up, down, up. Bass, down, up, da, 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 bass, down, up, bass, down, up. For myself, I was really gravitating towards something called the 16th note strum pattern. And what I mean by that is if you're tapping your foot to the beat, right now we're dividing that beat into two parts with our down, down, up, down, up. So we have 1, 2, 1, 2, and that's called an 8th note. What a 16th note is where you divide that into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one of my favorite 16th note strum patterns is a long down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up. And what I mean by that is we take the E minor and do a down for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what you're doing on the first beat. Then on the second beat, you're doing a down on 1, down on 3, up on 4. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, down, 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 down. And on the third beat, you're doing an up on 2, down on 3. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, down, 1, down. Then on the last beat, you're going down, up, right along with the 1, 2, 3, 4. So down. So all together. Quick to get that to work, but it definitely kind of matches the feel a little bit better for the tune. Or if you wanted to, you can add basses to that, and you can make it a bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, or a bass, bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, or a bass, bass, down, down, up, bass, down, up, down. It's like kind of cool too. Or you can even use that first finger to add in that note. Until we kind of get to our main bass change, actually. Kind of like a bridge, but it kind of carries through to the outro. And you'll hear the bass line kind of change to 3rd fret on the low E string, to the 2nd fret on the A string, to open A, to 2nd fret on the low E string, and then kind of or second fret on the low E, and then second fret on the A string. So we're kind of following 3 on the low E, 2 on the A, open A, 2 on the low E, 2 on the low E, second on the A, kind of dig on that. And you can back that up with chords too, and actually, especially if you want to make this really heavy, you can even follow something called a power chord, where you could do a G5 power chord by doing first finger on the low E third, third finger on the A 5th fret. If you strum just those together, that sounds a G5 power chord. And then we can kind of take that shape and then go to a B5 by doing first finger on the A 2nd, third finger on the D 4th fret. It's kind of a B5 power chord. Or you could even do that power chord from 7th fret on the low E, third finger on the 9th on the A, and then we'd be going to an A5 power chord, which you could do open A and second on the D string, or you could use an A5 power chord by doing first finger on the low E 5th, third finger on the A on the 7th fret, and then we'd be going to second fret on the low E string for kind of an F sharp 5 power chord, and then some more F sharp. And then we go to our second fret on the A string, it's kind of the B at the very, very end. So if you wanted to just back up that bass line with kind of just making it really heavy, you'd have kind of the G for kind of 6, B for 2, A for 4, and then the F sharp for 4, and then or F sharp for 8, and then back to the B5. So if you want to kind of an easy way on that part, G, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, B, by starting on a G major chord. I normally do G major by doing first finger on the A 2nd, second finger on the low E 3rd, third finger on the high E 3rd. If you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. Now you may also dig on putting the third finger on the B 3rd, pinky on the high E 3rd, kind of working that for your G major. And then from the G major, we'd be going to a B minor chord. I normally do this as a second fret bar, second finger on the B 3rd, third finger on the D 4th, pinky on the G 4th. If you strum all those together, that sounds a B minor chord. It sounds really sad. Now you may also dig on lifting the pinky, making that a B minor 7. Or another way to play B minor 7 would be doing first finger on the A 2nd, second finger on the G 2nd, third finger on the high E 2nd. Kind of working that for your B minor. Or especially if you're digging on that other G major voice, you may dig on A on the 2nd fret, second finger on the G 2nd, third finger on the B 3rd, pinky on the high E 3rd, kind of working up B minor that way, kind of around the G chord. And then from the B minor, we'd be going to an A major chord. And normally you do this first finger on the D 2nd, second finger on the G 2nd, third finger on the B 2nd. So big party on the 2nd fret. So you may kind of dig on kind of using that for the A major. Randomly around A's in general. Normally, if you have a lot of time, you can kind of lift off 3 and make that an A suspended 2nd. Or you could add in the pinky on the B 3rd for an A suspended chord and kind of say some things around that chord. Or you may dig on an A 7 sus, where you do first finger on the D 2nd, second finger on the G 2nd, third finger stays on the B 3rd, pinky on the high E 3rd. Kind of working that for your A. And then from the A, when we hit that F sharp note, there's a couple options actually. And this doesn't last very long. But you could do kind of a D major chord. And the way you play D major, first finger goes to G on the 2nd fret, second finger on the high E 2nd fret, third finger on the B 3rd fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds a D major chord, and it sounds really happy. Now around D's in general, it can be kind of cool to lift the second finger, always a dangerous finger to lift. That makes a D suspended 2nd, or you could add a pinky in on the high E 3rd, kind of make a D sus and kind of say some things around that chord. But you'll definitely hear that F sharp note coming out of the bass. You could even take your thumb and cover that low E string on the 2nd fret, and that's something called D/F sharp, or D major with an F sharp in the bass. Or you could even use a D sus/F sharp, which is a little bit easier to get to, by doing first finger on the low E 2nd, second finger on the G 2nd, third finger on the B 3rd, pinky on the high E 3rd, kind of working that for that F sharp note, or for D sus/F sharp. And randomly, you could stay on that chord, I think, for the next F sharp note if you wanted to kind of try and avoid some bars. Or you can make a change to an F sharp major. And normally you do this as a 2nd fret bar, second finger on the G's, 3rd fret, third finger on the A, 4th fret, pinky on the D, 4th fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an F sharp major chord, and it sounds really happy. You may also dig on lifting the pinky and making that an F sharp 7, or adding in the pinky on the B 5th fret, making that F sharp 7. Well, randomly, another F sharp 7 you could do would be doing first finger on the B second, second finger on the G third, third finger on the D fourth, and kind of strumming just the D string and the high E string for the F sharp. And then from the F sharp, we go back to our B minor. So on that bridge part, and it can be kind of weird, we're still matching the rhythm we were talking about with the power chords, but you have kind of that G, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, B minor, A, D slash F sharp, F sharp, B minor. So I got G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, B minor for 2, A minor, or A for 4, D slash F sharp for 4, F sharp for 8, and then back to my B minor. So it's a little weird, it's kind of like we're having the measures. G, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, B minor, A, D slash F sharp, F sharp, B minor. It kind of becomes our bridge and our outro. Now if you're doing the down, down, up, down, the weird part is on the G and the B minor. If you want to get the B minor in there, you could just ignore the B minor, I think. But you could do the G with the down, down, up, and then hit the B minor for your last down, up. Go to the A for your down, down, and then you may want to hit the D slash F sharp on the up, up, down, up, and then go to your F sharps major for the whole pattern, and then B minor for the whole pattern. So it's a little weird timing wise. So we got G, down, down, up, B minor, A, down, up, or down, up. Oh, and there's lots of ways to split that measure actually. On the A, D slash F sharp, you can even do down, down, up on each of those chords, which could be kind of cool. Or you could kind of, where I was going before, is kind of the A down, down, D slash F sharp on up, up, down. So, there's kind of different ways you could kind of work it, but G, down, up, B minor, A, down, D slash F sharp on up, down, up, F sharp, B minor. Major, F sharp 7, P minor. But like I said before, you really could even stay on that D slash F sharp if that feels really good to you. Especially if you're digging on the drone voices. D slash F sharp can kind of work as a substitute for that F sharp 7. So you kind of do G down, up, B minor, A, down, D slash F sharp, up, down, up, D slash F sharp instead of F sharp. On the 16th idea, you could kind of split it around that too. Although you could add basses to that too, actually what we're just doing, kind of G down. The G would have the low E bass, B minor would have the A bass, A would have the A bass, D slash F sharp would have the low E bass, regular D would have the D bass, if you wanted to throw that in there. I think that's playing against the tune. F sharp 7, the full bar, would have the low E for the bass. On the other one where you're working kind of the 1, 2, 3 diagonal, you get the third finger on the D string. So we could add basses to that too, kind of G bass, down, up, B minor, A with an A bass, down, up, D slash F sharp, D slash F sharp, B minor, G bass, down, up, B minor, A, D slash F sharp, F sharp, B minor. Or if you're digging on the 16th, this is kind of cool. You could do the G with the bass, or actually, going back to the regular pattern, down, 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 up, down, and then save that last down, up, down for the B minor. Then you have the A with the down, 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 up, and then kind of split that pattern with the D slash F sharp. So then D slash F sharp for the up, down, down, up, down, up, F sharp for the whole pattern, and then B minor for the whole pattern. It's like kind of cool how you're splitting G, down, down, up, down, B minor, down, up, A, down, down, up, D slash F sharp, up, down, up, F sharp, down, down, up, down, down, up, B minor, down, down, up, G, down, up, B minor, A, D slash F sharp, F sharp, B minor. Or you could put some basses for that, right? So G, down, other strum patterns that'll work or other licks around these chords too. Hang on that part. I think really is kind of working that bass line around the chords. Feel free to kind of take this lesson and run with it any way you want to. Actually kind of make it your own too. But that's the basics of how you get strum through 0 to 100, the catch up by Drake. So good luck.